Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today we are reacting to the 21 books I wanted to read in 2021. So I do not feel like I've done a good job of this, and that is literally because I forgot I was doing this challenge and didn't reach for these books. I don't even know what books are on this list. So I will be surprised if I've read 10 of them. There are no punishments. I'm not going to unhaul any of these books I haven't read. It was just a nice challenge. And instead, I've brought back a list for next year of books I have to read in the year, but it's not a set number. Because I feel like if we keep going with whatever's on the end of the 20, those lists are going to get pretty big. So I'm going to attempt to edit this with me watching the video on my phone. You'll see how it goes. I don't have the highest hopes. My editing skills are not fantastic, but let's see what I was supposed to read in 2021. Where do we even start? The first one is the end of a series, and that is Finale by Stephanie Garber. Yeah, I've not read that. I was rereading Caraval and Legendary so I could reread Finale, and I never even got round to my reread of Legendary. Yeah, I forgot that was on this list. Next, I have one Victoria is going to scream at me for that I've never read, and that is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Which I have read, thank you Victoria, and she was fully informed when I was reading it, so Victoria's not upset with me. I can live like this. Next I have another book from October of 2019, and that is The Cellar by Natasha Preston. Which I've also read, and I didn't love it. It is still on my shelves, I believe. It's right there. It is still there. I couldn't unhaul it, but I didn't love it. It's a potential future unhaul, but I did read it. So that is 3-1. So far. Next, I have one from, I want to say, Christmas of 2018, which is pretty bad. That is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. So, okay, it's 3-2. Girl in Pieces is a YA contemporary that focuses on self-harm, and I just feel like it's going to be really, really hard hitting. So I haven't reached for it. I haven't been in not that I'm in a particularly bad mental space at any time, but I just haven't felt the desire to read something quite that gritty in terms of mental health. I can do gritty in terms of like murder any day, but gritty in terms of mental health, I've not been in the headspace to read that book, so I'm fine. Next, we have a book that I have had for, I wouldn't even want to know how long. I've also just found a dead insect on the inside of the cover, so that is charming. Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. 4-2. I have read that book. I feel like I read it in 2020, so I don't know why it's on this list. I obviously didn't. Read it, didn't love it. It was a book about school where they were quarantined for a disease and the kids in the school were bored, so they felt the need to go out into the general population, and it didn't end well. So yeah, don't love that book, but read. So 4-2. I feel like I'm getting the numbers wrong. Shall I just try and keep a score on the screen? Even though, God, that's going to be an issue for editing in itself. Maybe there will be on a score on the screen, starting now. Next, we have one I purely bought because of the film, and that is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. Which I've also read. I didn't love it, really didn't love it, but I am tempted to watch the film again. But yeah, it's read. Next, we have a book I bought because of my dissertation I did at college, so that would have happened in 2016. So I sort of feel like I might have had this book since 2016, and that is A Mother's Reckoning, Living in the Aftermath of the Columbine Tragedy by Sue Klebold. So I have not read that one yet. I don't know what video? I don't know what order these videos are going up in. Keep your eye on the Chloe's Crime Scene Corner picks for February, March and April, because we're going to be dealing with that issue very soon. Next we have Finding Sky by Joss Sterling, which I've read. It is right here somewhere, just off camera. I do now have Stealing Phoenix, which is the sequel. I haven't got around to that one yet, but it's teeny tiny, so I definitely will next year. Oh, I probably shouldn't say that. But yeah, I have read Finding Sky, and it was pretty good. Next one I think has quite a lot of promise, and that is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. Has a lot of promise. I DNF'd it 6 pages in and unhauled it. So I'm not even going to count that. The stats are now out of 20, not out of 21. I unhauled it, so I didn't read it or not read it. I just got rid of it from my life because I couldn't get into it. Oops.
Now I have a book that has sat for far too long and read on my shelves, and that is Landline by Rainbow Rowell.
Read it, hated it, don't quite know how that's not on my worst books of the year, but I read it.
Next is another continuation of my 2020 list. We've got Angel Fire by Ali Conde,
which I've read. Go me.
Right, I think we're over halfway. Let's keep going. Next we have Snow Falling by Jane Gloriana Villanueva,
which I've read. Ah, this is all working out so nicely. This, just to talk more about it, because I thought it was really cool. In Jane the Virgin, the character Jane writes the book Snow Falling, and they made it an actual book. So I thought it was a great time. I actually really enjoyed reading it. It wasn't good by any sense of the word, but it was fun. It was very fun.
Next we have one I picked up just because of the author and have pretty much no intention of getting around to it. That is All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater.
Listened to the audiobook, gave it 1 star. It's on my worst books of 2021. There must have been a reason I was leaving these books for so long.
Next, another one from October 2019, and that is Slasher Girls and Monster Boys.
Yeah, haven't read that. It's right here. I always forget about it when spooky season rolls around, and then I don't want to read it at a casual point in the year. But I'm thinking maybe next year I just need to read it in the middle of the summer and get over myself, because I don't have to read it in October, because every October I choose not to read it. But I still have it.
Next one that's been on my shelves for far too long, and that is Night World Volume 1 by LJ Smith.
Which I've read, and I didn't actually enjoy it. I unhauled it. But I still do intend, again, it's off camera just up here. The lighting just changed, I'm so sorry. Is Dark Visions by LJ Smith, which is one of my favourite books of all time.
Nearly there, okay. Orion Lost by Alistair Chisholm.
Read it. Actually really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars. This list is going way better than I thought. I didn't realise that a lot of these books I read in 2021. I feel like it's been so long ago since I read them.
Next we have More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera.
The stats are now out of 19. I also unhauled this one. I tried to read it several times. I didn't get past the first page, so I unhauled it.
Now I've got You by Joanna Briscoe.
Stats are out of 18. I also unhauled this one. I did a try chapter tag, I tried it out, I didn't like it, it's gone.
Next we have Matched by Ali Conde,
which was the first book I read in 2021. I remember that fact, I know it's up on my Instagram. Yeah, first book I read in 2021, such a throwback, YA dystopian from the, like, with a love triangle, all the good stuff, all the good stuff. Really did enjoy that book.
Next, again, following on from 2020's list, we have The System by Jem O'Malley,
which I read and unhauled. So I read The Killables, 5 stars, one of my favourite books of all time. I read number 2, The Disappearances, hated it. Read The System, didn't really like it. So both of those 2 are gone, and only The Killables is left on my shelves. But I did read it.
And finally, a book series I'd love to finish by the end of 2021. This one I have here is The Air by Kira Cass.
And I finished that series. So really, this did not go that bad. I'm just going to skip through the rest of the video. It's just me wrapping it up. I did better than I thought, and that's without monitoring my books. So I do try and make a conscious effort to pick up books that have been on my shelf the longest, which does mean it's just like a first in, first out system. Why am I making it like my work? But yeah, my oldest books I do try and get to before I get to the newer gifts and new releases and stuff like that. So I actually feel like I've done a pretty good job. As I said, I'm not going to do a 22 books I need to read in 2022, but I am going to be releasing a books I have to read in 2022, which will be going up on the 1st of January, I believe, to start off the year fresh with my list. It is a list of books I'm actually really excited about, not ones that have been on my shelf the longest, but ones that I just know I will put off unless I put them on a list. For example, we have the continuation of the Throne of Glass series, so Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash, which I have promised I will read next year, and also things like Bunny by Mona Awad, which I know I really want to read, and for some reason I'm putting it off. So I'm going to be reading that one in 2022. But let me know, did you do a 21 books in 2021 challenge? Let me know, did you complete it? Did you drastically fail? I'd be very excited to hear how you got on. But on that note, that's all I have time for today. So thank you very much for watching my video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one.